Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Paul Pogba is likely to move abroad when his contract runs out this summer. Real Madrid, Juventus and PSG are interested. Recently, Paul Pogba rejected a move to Man City. He said Manchester City consider signing Paul Pogba on a free from Manchester United, and it did mention that City were willing to offer Pogba a 4-year deal. Manchester City have done transfer business with Man United before. Revert back to a lot of years ago, Man City got Carlos Tevez from Manchester United. But revert back to Pogba, he said earlier on this season that Paul Pogba is increasingly likely to leave Man United this summer, and earlier on this season Ralph Rangnick confirmed that Pogba is unlikely to play for Manchester United again. Pogba came off injured in the 4-0 defeat to Liverpool at Anfield. Pogba is injury prone because he's endured quite a lot of injuries since he re-signed for the club. This season has been his 6th season at Manchester United. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. He's played over 200 games since he re-signed. Pogba's Man United's most expensive sign at the moment because Manchester United paid £89 million for him. So that's the news on Paul Pogba. The Manchester United board tell Erik ten Hag to target free transfers this summer. After his summer transfer budget was revealed, Erik ten Hag is going to get around £100 million. You've got the likes of Paulo Dybala and Ousmane Dembele that are available on free transfers this summer. There's a lot of players that Ten Hag wants to bring to the club. On the other side of things, Ten Hag is going to get rid of a lot of players, so reflecting on that, he will generate money. Michel van der Gaag is set to join Erik ten Hag at Manchester United. The other month, it got officially announced that Manchester United appointed Erik ten Hag as the new manager. Erik ten Hag will replace Ralph Rangnick. Erik ten Hag signed a 3-year contract with an option of a further year. Manchester United agreed the compensation with Ajax for Erik ten Hag. The compensation was below £2 million. Ten Hag is Manchester United's 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. It's going to be good for Ten Hag to experience the Premier League because he's not yet managed in the Premier League. You've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax. You know, at Ajax he's developed the young players well. He's won some Eredivisie titles, he's won some Dutch Cups, and revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. Ten Hag did get appointed in as the Ajax manager back in December 2017. So he's been the Ajax manager for over 4 years. His contract at Ajax was due to expire next year. Ten Hag is the former Utrecht, Bayern Munich reserves and Go Ahead Eagles manager. Ralf Rangnick, he has one game remaining in charge of Manchester United. You know, Ralf Rangnick has been Manchester United's interim manager for around 4 months or so. Last month, it got officially announced that Ralf Rangnick got appointed as the new manager of Austria. Rangnick signed a 2-year deal, but Rangnick will continue in a consultancy role at Man United until 2024. Rangnick has endured one transfer window as Man United's interim manager, and unfortunately he didn't get backed in this year's January transfer window. Revert back to earlier on this season, Rangnick recommended Ewan Sharping as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he recommended Saz Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. And before, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Recently, Manchester United got thrashed by Brighton and Hove Albion 4-0. It was a terrible performance by Manchester United, like I mentioned on the match reaction. It was probably the worst performance I've seen from Man United this season. Manchester United have conceded 56 goals, is it, this season? It's already been confirmed that it's been Man United's worst ever Premier League season. And reflecting on the loss to Brighton, Man United have lost 5 consecutive Premier League away games. Manchester United have been playing catch-up since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. And we've got to accept that no one is going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club. You know, Ferguson, greatest manager of all time. Ferguson, when he was the Man United manager, he won 30-odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. But he didn't settle in straight away, Ferguson, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Alex Ferguson was the Manchester United manager for 27 years. So reflecting on that, he was a long-serving manager. Alex Ferguson retired almost 10 years ago. Man United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson retired, even though Man United are not really known as a sacking football club. You know, the managers we sacked was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, and in November last year, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after almost 3 years in charge. Man United have only won 4 trophies in the last 10 years or so. The last time Man United won the Premier League was back in 2013. Now, Man United have not won a trophy for around 5 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Like I've said to you over and over again, I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time. We've got to get the Glazers out of the football club because they've been one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time. A lot of United fans have been protesting against the Glazers. Revert back towards the end of last season, Man United fans protested against the Glazers because at that point the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. You know, the Glazers have owned Man United for a long time. They've owned the club for around 17 years. They purchased the club for 500 million back in 2005. This summer, Manchester United need to get rid of a lot of players, because there's a lot of players at the club that aren't good enough to represent the club. So this summer, you know, we need to get rid of Dean Henderson. You know, Henderson doesn't really get in the team because Henderson's our second choice keeper. Henderson's only made 3 appearances this season. This summer as well, we need to get rid of Tom Eaton. You know, Tom Eaton is a backup, he's our third choice keeper. I haven't had a great deal of a perception on him. Heaton played in the pre-season games before the start of this season, and to his credit did well. Man United got Tom Heaton on a free transfer from Aston Villa last year, and at the time Heaton signed a 2-year contract with an option of a 3rd year. We need to get rid of Lee Grant as well. Lee Grant's our 4th choice keeper. We brought Lee Grant in under Jose Mourinho. We need to get rid of Alex Telles. I reckon this season's his last season at the club. You know, Telles has been poor now for the last few months. But Telles has appeared to be our first choice left back under RANNIC. Phil Jones and Erik Bailly, we need to get rid of them. Well, Jones and Bailly have already informed their teammates that they intend on leaving the club. You know, Phil Jones and Erik Bailly don't really get in the team. And Wan-Bissaka, I think he's leaving as well this summer. He's not good enough, Bissaka. He's done well in a lot of games defensively, but the attacking side of his game is not so good. Bissaka's just come back from injury not so long ago. And Wan-Bissaka, he's not our first choice right back under RANNIC. You know, Dalot's been our first choice right back under RANNIC. Harry Maguire, we certainly need to get rid of him this summer, because he's not good enough to represent the club. I can't understand how he's still Man United captain. A lot of Man United fans have been demanding for the captaincy to be taken off Maguire, especially throughout the course of this season. Maguire's just recently come back from injury, and the other week he received a bomb threat at his home, and reflecting on that he run the police. But Man United overpaid for Maguire, paid 80 million for him. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, and he's the second most expensive sign at the club, behind Pogba. Maguire's been at the club for around 3 years now. I think we need to get rid of Victor Lindelof this summer, but I don't think we'll get rid of him this summer. He may leave next year. Lindelof isn't one of our first choice centre-halves. He's obviously played a lot recently because obviously we had Maguire injured not so long ago, you know. Varane was injured earlier on this season as well. You know, Bailly's just recently picked up an injury. McTominay, I think we need to get rid of him because he's not good enough to represent the club. Nemanja Matic, we know that he's leaving this summer because revert back to a few weeks ago, Matic announced he will be leaving Manchester United this summer despite having 12 months on his contract. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that he's still being given his opportunities. He's the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got at the moment. Man United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017, got him in a deal worth 40 million. Pogba, yeah, he'll be leaving this summer. Fred, I think we also need to get rid of him because he's not good enough, but I don't think he'll leave this summer. I think he could leave next year. Fred, he was injured not so long ago. Man United got Fred from Shakhtar Donetsk quite a few years ago, got him in a deal worth £50 million. Jesse Lingard, he's resigned to leaving this summer. He's out of contract this summer. Lingard is a squad player, you know, he doesn't really get in the team, but he has been part of the club for a long time, came up our academy in that. The second half of last season enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Martial, I think we'll get rid of him permanently this summer, you know, he's out on loan with Sevilla at the moment. Edison Cavani will be leaving, he's out of contract soon. Man United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. Cavani come back from injury not so long ago. Cavani's had quite a few injuries since he came to the club. He came on in the 4-0 defeat to Brighton. He did score, but the goal got ruled out for offside. Cristiano Ronaldo, do you think he'll be leaving Man United this summer? Probably not, because I think Ronaldo will want to play under Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag has said that he wants Cristiano Ronaldo to stay at Manchester United. Not so long ago it said Ronaldo could make a return to Real Madrid. Ronaldo's already enjoyed one spell with Real Madrid. He was with them around 10 years. You know, in 2009 Real Madrid got Ronaldo from Man United for 80 million. Man United set a price tag of around 10 million for Ronaldo. You know, Ronaldo's contract at Manchester United expires next year. There's an option of a further year. He's the highest earner at Man United at the moment, Ronaldo. He earns £480,000 a week. Man United re-signed Ronaldo in the summer of last year from Juventus. Since Ronaldo re-signed, he's scored 18 goals in the Premier League and he's got 24 goals in all competitions. A few weeks ago, Ronaldo announced that his baby son had passed away, and that was upsetting. Rashford, you know, he could be leaving this year. You know, Rashford's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. You know, Man United want at least 60 million for Marcus Rashford. Earlier on this season, Rashford told his friends that he wants to quit Man United, and he said after that Man United wanted Marcus Rashford to stay at the club this summer despite his wretched run of form. Rashford's not available at the moment, he's out with illness. For me, Rashford's not been the same player since he had that operation on his shoulder. He missed the first 2 months of this season with that shoulder problem. Earlier on this season, he had a minor leg injury. Rashford's contract at the club expires next year. He has been part of the club for a long time. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he broke into our senior squad back in 2016. So there you go. And we've got quite a lot of players' contracts that do expire as well next year. So I presume more players will leave next year. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.